And I think it's pretty clear that you have been, that authenticity and adding meaning has been important for you across all the work that you do, the books that you put out, and the agency that you've started. It's literally called Goodvertising.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you, what's a petty reason you started this agency?
To be honest, I was a young creative that by chance started an agency, and working a couple of years in that agency and trying to manage sort of the, really wanting to do amazing creative output. And then we were having the climate summit in Copenhagen, and being a Dane, I obviously had extremely high expectations to our elected government leaders. Tony Blair was there, Barack Obama, all these important people, and nothing came out of it. And so at that time, I just asked myself, what can I do as a marketeer, as a communicator? And also because at that time, I did see advertising for environmental issues and things that I didn't really normally see brands talk about. So that sort of inspired me to write the first book, and that sort of inspired me to pivot the agency in a different direction. And basically because I really felt that here's an amazing opportunity for brands to connect with people about something we all care about, each other's lives, our communities. And so in many ways, I talk about life centricity. Mm-hmm. And I think in this day and age, a lot of people just drown in all this talk about, creators that are sharing, like, let's be honest, dumb makeup tips and all this other stuff that's not really making anybody happier or more fulfilled. And so, I think this is really back to basics, brand connecting with things that really matter truly in people's lives.
So I'll ask you this last question. Sustainability is very important to you, and you've talked about life centricity. A lot of brands, as we've seen, they will, and this is probably a little controversial to say, they will have maybe 2% or 3% of their budget dedicated to being sustainable, but a lot of that will not have any real world applications, but maybe some marketing applications. Do you think that we as advertisers will be able to change that and bridge that gap where with those little budgets that we do get, that we apply them to the real world and have real action take place?
Let's be honest, most marketeers don't really know what actually deliver the bang for bucks necessarily, so maybe half of that budget you don't even know if it's effective. I do actually think those 2, 3, 5% truly matters. I think as marketeers, we need to be curious, we need to experiment, we need to be brave. So I'm actually happy when people dedicate 3 to 5% of the marketing budget towards some of these things. If you take a brand like MasterCard and their global CMO, Ravi, he often talks about this thing that, building with the small steps, and then you see the success that comes on the back of that. And I think MasterCard have shown across campaigns that is possible. So yes, you might not be a Dove or some of these iconic chains brands, but I think dedicating those 3 to 5% and seeing, does this take off? Does this connect with people? Does this drive change? And go with that. And so I think what people sometimes get a little bit disillusioned about is this idea about sustainability. What does that mean? It's just such an umbrella term, right?
Yeah, it's like a buzzword or like a fun word or like, oh, I don't know what to say and maybe this is the safest thing to do word.
Yeah, so I think for every brand there is things that you can talk about that is bigger than the product. Mm-hmm. And I think when you start to talk to people about that, that's when it really matters. I always say, it's like inviting friends over at a dinner party. You can't entertain people for a very long time around a new feature on your iPhone or whatever. That's probably going to die that conversation pretty quickly, or kill the conversation. Yeah, it's like, nerd, okay. Yeah. But if you start talking about things like congestion in Karachi or the terrestrial rain in Karachi that I experienced yesterday.
You got to experience that.
I felt very much at home, you know. I was like, rain, sun. So thank you for giving me that warm welcome. No, but so I think it's really like picking those things that does matter And I think this is things that are very shareable. It's things that can build pride internally. And it's things where those 3 to 5% might add up being 40, 50, or even more, as I noticed with the brand generation, where it seems to be, without knowing the brand, something that was quite front and center.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh,
This
thank
was a great
you.
answer. Yeah. It was really good to have you here. This was Thomas, and we're really excited to see what he tells us and teaches us across these 2 days.